third day of our conference, we left the lecture hall behind, stepped into the fresh air and moved to the beautiful Bergius Botanic Garden. Participants split into smaller groups to put the previous day's theory into practice across 5 different outdoor workshop stations. At the first workshop, led by Emma Gilmartin and Karin Sandberg, participants entered the microscopic world of fungi and beetles. They explored just how crucial and complex the wood-decay microbiome is for both wood decomposition and tree stability. Using examples of all trees in the garden, arborists and ecologists also demonstrated how these decaying trunks provide irreplaceable shelter for a wide range of strictly protected insect species and other threatened organisms. The second station, led by Reg Harris and Chris Knepman, focused on crown development and the practical aspects of pruning. Working with mature trees, participants examined the challenges of radical interventions such as retrenchment pruning or the gradual reduction of the crown. Because trees have often responded to such measures in unexpected and negative ways in the past, the group explored more sensitive and adaptive management strategies that take into account today's ecological challenges and a changing climate. The third workshop, led by Vicky Bengtson and Jim Mulholland, was dedicated to trees as living habitat. Vicky gave practical demonstrations of veteranisation techniques, showing how younger trees can be intentionally and safely damaged with tools in order to accelerate the formation of cavities and deadwood, and in doing so, support biodiversity. Jim expanded on this topic by showing which specific tree features beds depend on for their highly dynamic lives, from cracks beneath the bark to sun-exposed cavities. The fourth station brought a fascinating connection between ancient nature and cutting-edge technology, led by Jaroslav Kolařík and Valentin Kristýny. In the field, participants tested innovative approaches to tree mapping, including 3D scanning of veteran trunks, which allows for much more precise biomechanical assessment of stability and load distribution. The discussion also covered the proper use and interpretation of tools such as acoustic tomography and how different types of wood decay can influence the way sound waves travel through a tree. At the fifth and final workshop, groups joined Artemis Anest and Tom Joy to explore tree architecture itself. They learned how to carefully read crown structure and distinguish between a tree's predictable growth patterns and its more freestyle responses to disturbance and stress. By linking a macroevolutionary perspective with practical arboriculture, participants discovered how major ecological threats of the past shaped the way trees adapt today, and how this understanding can directly guide the actions we take to protect them now. The conference was brought to a symbolic close in the unmistakable style of Ted Green, founding member and president of the Ancient Tree Forum. Although the official closing summary at the end of the second day, held in the Old Orangery, belonged to Jill Butler according to the program, it was Ted's visionary legacy and lifelong passion for nature that gave the entire two-day event its deeper frame and meaning. Participants left the Botanic Garden with clear satisfaction and genuine enthusiasm. From both the practical workshops and the theoretical lectures, they took away not only a deeper understanding of the complex ecosystems of old trees, but above all, a renewed sense of motivation and a strong feeling of community. Sharing experience across Europe gave them confidence that in the effort to protect these irreplaceable natural treasures for future generations, they are far from alone.